So I want to introduce someone to you today that has been a huge impact in my life. We met in the year 2018, and at that time I knew him in one context, and that was just a guy that knew something about the Bible, and he was a friend. And as I got to know him more, I found this out about people, and that is that you are only able to tap into the grace that someone has when you recognize the grace that they operate in. And so I knew him first as a friend, and in a time of transition, in a time of trouble, he became a close brother as we were moving through a transition season in our life. And then he became a mentor and a coach, and my life is elevated. Darren Collins is a serial entrepreneur. He's built multi-million-dollar companies, multiple ones of those. He's a CEO of Crest Fund. He is the president and founder of Life Leaders. He's a coach. He's a mentor. He's someone that can take your life to the next level. Would you give him a warm welcome this morning, Mr. Darren Collins?
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Thank you guys for coming up in here on an early Saturday, early for some, late for us, but early for some. So, everybody good? All right, before we get started, I want everybody to stand up real quick. I want y'all to stand up. Now, most of you folks, I'm looking at your faces, are church folks. Y'all know us from church and all of that, but this isn't church, okay? So we're going to have some fun in here. Turn that music back on. We're going to have some fun in here today. We're going to teach you some stuff. I'm going to teach you some Bible principles about how I became successful, or quote-unquote successful. And but we're going to have some fun. So what I want you to do, I want you to high-five the person beside you and say, today's going to be a great day. Come on, get loud about it. Today's going to be a great day. Today's going to be a great day. Life's going to transform up in here today. All right, good deal. So you guys can grab a seat. I am Darren Collins. I am the founder of Life Leaders and the president, CEO, whatever you want to call me, of Crest Fund. How many Crest Fund people we got in the room? Raise your hand. Any Crest Fund people online, just say what up from online. We should have some online as well. We got coffee and restrooms in the building, coffee, water, whatever you want, and hopefully you brought your own gasoline. So when we do these things, what I like to tell everybody is I am going to inspire you, but I'm not going to fire you, right? You're going to have to bring your own fire to the game. So if you want to be successful in life, no one can do that for you. It's an inside job. Everybody say that back to me. It's an inside job. If you want to be successful, it's always going to be an inside job. So I'm just a little country boy from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I grew up over on Cumberland Road, went to Southview. Any Fayettevilleans in here know about Southview? There it is. Okay. So, and then I found my faith in December of 1992. My dad was a preacher and electrician, and so was my brother. So I grew up in construction my whole entire life. Hence why we do construction here at my companies. But I found my faith and what you would say got saved in December of 1992, and I started Bible school 3 weeks later. Got my doctorate degree at Christian Life School of Theology, so you can call me Dr. Darren if you want to, but if you get sick, don't call me because I can't help you with that side of life. I can help you theologically, I can help you in life skills and all of those things, but I can't help you. I'm not that kind of doctor. So in my course of life, just so you know, I am a Bible guy. So if you don't like the Bible, just hang on. It's still a principle-based book. It's how I teach. It's what we teach from. It's how I've built my life and become a millionaire. I started Bible school at 20 years old, went on and got a doctor's degree. I think when I was 28 years old, I finished that. And so my imagination of life was I'm going to be in ministry forever, right? The epitome of success for me was holding a microphone and preaching and teaching. Now, I'm still teaching. Y'all say, yeah, you are. But it's a little different now, right? It's a little different now. So I went through a season, started a church in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2006. And I was a real estate guy before that. When I started having a wife and babies, I started real estate because I wanted to be a good dad. And in construction work, you work 24/7, right? So I started doing some real estate. There he is. Hey, Double D. I started doing real estate And then in 2005, we moved to Charlotte and started a church in 2006. And in 2006 or 7, I met a guy named Don Wells who's sitting right here. Everybody say, what's up, Don? And we became really, really close and built some stuff together through the years. And now we have a really cool scenario where we help people just like you to invest money and become successful and wealthy. We are a wealth-building group of people. It's our heartbeat. I want to help you in life become successful, but I want you to be wealthy too. Is that okay with everybody in the room? Say that. I'm good for that if you're good for that. All right, so I have gotten here. It's been a long journey. In 2007 and 8, we were in the real estate game and lost everything we had. Everybody remember the crash 2008? So my wife and me, raise your hand, baby. There's my wife back there. If I could sing, I'd start singing, "Isn't she lovely?" Well, I'll leave that for later. No matter what room we go to, I always have the prettiest girl in the room, but that's neither here nor there. So in 2007 and 8, the market crashed. The real estate market crashed, and we were all in the game. And so in 2000 and end of 2009, 2010, we had lost everything we had. I had about $350,000 worth of credit card debt hanging over me. I had no income, and they were taking the house that we lived in. So I had nowhere to live, no income, a wife, and 2 children. And so we had borrowed money from credit cards for about 6 or 8 months at the time. And Lindsay didn't really know about it. I was just trying to make ends meet because I'm an optimist by nature. So my mind was next month will be better, right? We'll get it done next month. Next month we'll hit the lottery. Next month we'll sell. I was doing a big hotel deal in Decatur, Illinois, trying to just make up for all my mess ups, right? So that never happened. We went down the tube, right? So at the end of 2009, by the way, before the crash, I'd never been late on any kind of payment in my life. I'd never been 30 days late in my entire life. I don't know if Lindsay had, but she had excellent credit as well. So, but we paid our stuff. So for the first time in my life, I had creditors calling, and banking friends that used to be golfing buddies were saying, "Hey, what's your problem? I had one golfing banking friend that called me in a Taco Bell, and this story I think is in the book that I wrote there. I was in a Taco Bell in Mooresville, North Carolina, just north of Charlotte, where we lived at the time, and he started blasting me, and it's personal. Now, when a man is drowning, you don't want to throw darts at him, because if you throw darts at a hurt pit bull, he's probably going to bite you. So he's throwing darts personally at me over the phone saying, "I thought you were supposed to be a preacher. I thought you were supposed to be a Christian. I thought you were this, this, and this." Now I'm drowning. We eating off the dollar menu at Taco Bell at the time, right? And thank God we're thanking God the card went through at Taco Bell. Like Lindsay and I would go to the grocery store at this time and say, "Lord, I hope this goes through. I hope this goes through." And there was a couple times we had to go, didn't work, put them back, let's get out of here, right? So this guy's blasting me on the phone, and he's an older guy. And I hate that this is recorded. But anyway, I said some stuff to this dude on the phone. And we're 3 hours away. He's in Fayetteville, and I'm in Charlotte or Mooresville. And I'm going through, like, life is just crumbling down on top of my neck, right? I'm just getting beat down. And long story made short, he made some personal attacks at me. And I said, "Are you at the bank right now?" "Yeah, I'm at the bank." "I'll be there in 3 hours. We'll go outside and we'll have a conversation, just me and you man to man about this. And we'll figure it out in the parking lot." Are you threatening me?" "No, I'm making you a promise. If you're there when I get there, I'm going to stomp you in that back parking lot outside for talking to me like this." And I'm yelling in Taco Bell. I've got my cell phone in Taco Bell, and I'm going off on this old man because I'd had enough at this point. And I'm livid. Like, I was not talking like a preacher at all. But I'm still from Cumberland Road. So he pulled this old school dude up out of me. And I thought he was buried, and he wasn't buried. And so I just went off on this guy. And Lindsay's like, calm down. And the people in Taco Bell, big bright eyes, looking at us like, this dude has lost it up in Taco Bell. So anyway, we come out of Taco Bell, and I calm down. And the guy The guy was backing up like one of those big trucks you hear, beep, beep, beep. He was backing up then when I told him I was coming to talk to him face to face. And so long story made short, we lost everything we had. I was $350,000 in credit card debt when we moved back to Fayetteville from Charlotte, which was December of 2009, 1st of 2010. We had about $2,500 left in the bank off the credit card. Nowhere to live, no income, wife and 2 babies, and no money. So I'm just the crazy optimist, and I took $1,000. I didn't tell Lindsay, but I took $1,000, and I bought signs that say, "We buy houses." Me and this young fella right here to my left, James Forbes, I drove down to Fayetteville and took the signs, and I slept in her mother and father's camper in the back of their house. And we went out late nights, and we hammered signs on telephone poles and trees all over Cumberland County and Harnett County and Hope County. We got back home about 3:30 that night. And from those signs, we bought about 10 or 12 houses, and we started back. And now we're doing all kinds of things in real estate, developing and building and coaching and all these different things. So God has been really good to me. But along the way, here's what I wanted to share with you. Along the way, I met Don Wells, and it was either 2006 or 7. I can't remember. He'd probably have to go back and see when he was actually joined the gym. We met at the gym, and shocking to most. I met my wife and my best homie at the gym. So not the same gym, but, different gyms. And along that way, Don was helping me, and he was really being what we like to call an outside hand to me. So he was mentoring me and helping me through one of my darkest seasons of life. Losing everything you have. If you've never been there, and you've never felt it, you've never felt what it feels like to not know who you are, not know where you're going, and not know any way out. This is a rough feeling. But he walked with me a little ways, and we became really close. And I was in a dark season, and there were things that he said to me in those seasons that really just, excuse my language, pissed me off. It really just made me angry, right? So there was one time we were having breakfast, and we eat all the time, at a restaurant in Huntersville, North Carolina called Toast. And we're sitting across each other from breakfast, and Don says, "Man, what do you know that you can do? What do you know that you can do?" And I said, "Man, I'm pretty good at this little real estate thing over here." And his words, y'all forgive me if y'all are too religious for this kind of language, but I'm going to give it to you like he said it to me. He said, "Why don't you go do the real estate and shut the hell up?" Exact words. Preacher just cussed me out for no apparent reason whatsoever. So it hurt my feelings, but I said, "Well, I can do that. I'll go do that." And he said, "If you'll do what's in front of you to do your job. God's pretty good at his job. Don't try to do his job and your job. Just do your job." Right? So through that thing, we built some stuff together over the years, and he's been a great friend to me, a great outside hand. But what I learned, which is a rudiment of what we are at Life Leaders, okay? And you might want to write this down. I know you guys have notes, but you might want to write this down. Through all of my life and all of my journey, what I've learned is the most important thing is that no one can know themselves by themselves. Okay, it's on your screen. It's on the screen right here behind me. No one can know themselves. This is the epitome of what I believe. It's the epitome of what we believe at Life Leaders. It's the epitome of how we live our lives at Crest Fund. No one can know themselves by themselves. You need some help. Go ahead and touch the one sitting beside you and say, "You need a little help." Drew, there's nobody beside you. You need a little help. I'm just letting you know you need a little help. You need a little help. Everybody on Zoom, you need a little help, right? And we call this the outside hand. It's just part of us. I believe we are a faith bunch of people, and we believe when you come into faith that God moves on the inside of you, on an inside hand, but he needs some help on the outside, right? And that's what Don was to me. That's what I've been to him. That's what I've been to a lot of people in my life as an outside hand, and nobody can know themselves by themselves. Everybody needs a coach. Just say that. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody online say, everyone needs a coach. If you want to be successful. If you want to be successful, you got to have somebody. Because God never framed anybody to live on an island by themselves. Like, you don't know how good you are if you're the only person on the island. You say, well, I'm the best golfer on the island. But if you hadn't played against Tiger Woods, then it's a moot, right? Like, we can go play golf today, and if we don't have any barometer to measure that by, we can go, we're pretty good golfers. But when you measure it by the right standards, then you go, well, no, we're just hackers, right? Me and Don, and John, we're just hackers. We just out there banging it up, having a good time. Everybody needs some help. Everybody needs some help. So I'm 52 years old. I'll be 53 in August this year. And I have realized above all things that I need help. And no matter what level I get to, no matter what stage of life I grow into, no matter how much money I have, I need help. I personally just hired a coach in January of this year, Coach Michael Burt. I was going to tell you to put that slide up, Simone, but I felt your spirit go, please don't ask me for that, because this is going to be hard there, and please don't do that to me right now in front of everybody. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I have learned in my journey that somebody outside of me can see farther than me about me. You can never see the picture if you're inside the frame. That makes sense? You never can see the picture if you're inside the frame. Everyone needs an outside hand. Everyone needs somebody to help them. Along my journey, I'm well into seven figures now, just so I'll just put that on the table and let that be what it is. That's not the measuring rod that we use in life and success, but it is a measuring rod, right? You can't say I'm successful and you got $100. You can say it, I just ain't gonna believe it. Is that okay? Right, say this is life leaders. Just bump your neighbor, say this is life leaders right here, right? So you can't tell me you're successful and you got $150 to your name. So I have made some success in life, and I've been in seven figures of life for quite some time now. But I have learned that every stage of my life, I need somebody to come alongside me and help me out. I join masterminds, pay $25,000, $30,000 a year for people outside of me to be in a room just like this, to look at my life, to look at my frame and say, well, I think you need to turn this way, or I think you need to turn right way. So the guy I was just telling about, Coach Michael Burt, he's America's coach. He's all over the internet. You can find him out there, guys. I just hired this guy, paid him $25,000 to coach me for a year. Not because of anything other than I need somebody outside of me to look at me. And most of us get trapped in a scenario of I don't have enough to pay for coaching. Right? So we'll solve that later. Just tell your neighbor we'll solve that later. We'll solve that later. So everybody needs some help outside themselves. Is that okay? Did I make sense with any of that at all? Yeah, y'all got it? Y'all got it online? Somebody just wave. Simone, tell me if they're waving back at us. So here's the base of that for me. I'm a Bible guy, so I'm going to read this scripture to you. Proverbs chapter 20, verse number 5 in the New International Version. Here's what it says. The purposes of a person's heart are like deep waters. Are we able to put this up or no? But one who has insight draws them out. I'll give it to you again if you don't. Do you have it in there? The purposes of a person's heart are like deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. Now, in my Bible studies, just so y'all know, I've studied Greek, which is the New Testament language, and I've studied Hebrew, which is the Old Testament language, which is Proverbs chapter 20. So in the Hebrew language, I'm just going to give y'all a base, and if you don't like Bible, just suck it up and hold your breath until I get done. So in the Hebraic language, it's a circular language. And in the Hebrew language, they're always trying to paint a picture. I would draw you a picture on my board, but I'm not very good artist. So I just want to tell you that. So in the Hebrew language, this here, they're drawing a picture. There it is. They're drawing us a picture. Now look, everybody look at me. Now watch this right here. Here's the picture. The purposes, which is the exact word, right? Everybody wants to know their purpose, right? Why am I here? Is that why y'all came? I really want to know why I'm here, why I got to earth. The purposes of a man or a person's heart are deep waters. What does that mean? That means they're already inside of you. The purpose that you were framed for is in here. It's not out here. It's already inside you. Before he brought you here, I could take you to another verse in Ecclesiastes, but it says this. Here's what Solomon, the wisest man that ever lived, said. He said, eternity got set in the hearts of men and women. Eternity. So your purpose was born in you before you got here. Is that okay? Yes. All right. So your purpose was born in here. But watch this. Now, in the Hebrew language, this verse right here, they're trying to draw you a picture like cavemen. They draw pictures like cavemen. Okay. So here's what he's trying to say to you. That you have a purpose inside your heart that is deep. Okay? It's deep inside. But then you see this right here, but one who, in the Hebrew, it changes. Two different people. It's two different people. And when you look at the Hebrew, John, you can see this shift. This person and this person are two separate people. So Solomon, the wisest person in the planet, agrees with me. No one can know himself by himself. So the purpose is in there, but you need somebody with insight. That's a good little word right there. If I was at church, I'd just stop right there and take up an offering. I swear I would. So it's already inside of you, but you need someone outside of you to draw that out. This word draw it out right here, you know what it is? It's dipping into a well. It's the bucket into a well. So you need somebody outside of you with what? What's the word? Insight. Now here's what it is. Don taught me this. I give him a little credit, not much. Y'all take it down. I'm not going to give him much credit today at all. But the word is oversight, or somebody outside your frame. Oversight always gives insight. Now, I don't have to know your particular scenario to be an oversight or an outside frame person to help you get to where you're going. Because a man, and there's a couple of different translations that says a man of wisdom draws it out. So you've got a war plan. This is what it is. This is a life plan. Everybody say this is a life plan. This is a life plan inside your heart. It's just too deep for you. It's just a little too deep for you. But you need somebody with some wisdom and insight that can reach down inside of the well that you are and pull that up. That's really good right there, y'all. I wish Zoom would say something to me because nobody in here is saying anything at all. So this is the framework for all that we are and all that we do at Life Leaders. No one can know themselves all by themselves. So when God created this great man, I'm fixing to take you there now. When God created this great man called Adam, he brought all these animals to him. Y'all ever read the story? Y'all did children's church when you were little kids and they told you these stories? So God brings all these animals to Adam and he says, let's find you somebody that matches you. And he couldn't do it. So God did what? He reached inside Adam and he pulls out the woman. So he pulls the womb out and then frames the womb. And then he says, these two are bone of my bone, right? Y'all remember that story, right? And then before that, God said, it's not good for this Adam to run solo. It's not good for him to be alone, right? Because the deep waters are in you, but you just can't dig them out all by yourself. Does that make sense? Everybody needs some help. Just tap yourself, say, I need a little help. I need a little help. I need a little help. And if you don't, God bless you, because I do. I need a lot of help. All right, that's good. That's just my base. Is that okay? Everybody say that's okay. All right, here we go now. Y'all ready? So if you're gonna take this journey, DA, take that for me. If you're gonna take this journey of success in life, guys and gals, there's a couple things you need to know, and I don't think these are in your notes, so you might want to write this down. The first thing I want you to know before you endeavor to be successful in anything, I want you to know that it's going to be harder than you thought. It's going to be harder than you thought. And you go, I don't care how cool you are, how cute your beard is, how good your shoes are, it's going to be harder than you thought. We were talking this week. Was it me and you talking? I think it was me and Don talking on the phone. And I said, the reality is if anybody would have told me how tough this was going to be for the last 25 years, I'm out. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. If God would have told me, hey, in 2007, you're going to lose everything you have, you're going to feel like your life is a bunch of ash heap, and I'm out. I'll go work at McDonald's. I'll be a great manager at McDonald's. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. You don't get the whole scenario, right? You just get bits and pieces. The only thing you get in life is the next 2 feet in front of you. So if you're going to be great in life and you're going to be successful in life, you have to take action. You have to take action because the light only shines about 2 feet in front of you, so you got to walk this thing down. Does that make sense what I just said or no? So it's going to be harder than you thought. It's going to be way harder than you thought. And anybody that's been in the game for a little while, any game, you can go yes and amen. It's always hard. If you're going to be married for 45, 50 years, you can rest assured it's going to be harder. If you're going to raise children, rest assured it's going to be harder than you thought. James got 5. He's like, boy, that's real right there. 6. He got 6. He don't know when to quit. James don't have a quit button. Man, you should tap out after you choke out once or twice, Kip. Second thing. It's going to take longer than you thought. It's going to take longer than you thought. My life at 52 years old, I thought would be my life at 32. I'm just being flat out real with you. I thought I would be here 20 years earlier. I thought I was smart. I thought I had the goods, but life has to prove you. See, this is what we don't get taught as we're growing up, especially us church folks. We don't get taught this, that life is going to prove you. Sorry about that, John. Stepped out of the camera. Life is going to prove you. Life is going to throw you some curves, and it's going to ask you, how will you respond to this? Every time you go to a new level of your life, or you even think you're going to a new level, you think about opening a new business, life is going to hit you square in the mouth. Because life, in and of itself, the framework of our universe has been built such that if you don't have faith enough in yourself to make it through the contradiction, that life just smacks you back down to where you were. Because you have faith enough for where you are. You have faith enough for where you are right now. The universe is asking you, do you have faith enough for where you want to go? Do you realize it's going to be harder than what you thought it was going to be, and it's going to take you longer than what you think it's going to take? Like anybody can be a millionaire. And that went over well. Anyone can be a millionaire. James like, okay, sign me up, dog. Like I don't have a special talent. Like God didn't give me a special grace to be a millionaire. That's not how this works. I earned it. I just earned it. I just fought from nothing twice. Actually, I started it from nothing, and then we lost it all, and then I started to think again because I'm just crazy as James is with these 6 kids. I don't know when to quit either. That's why we friends, because neither one of us know when to give up. Like throw in the towel, big boy. It's always going to take you longer, and it's always going to be harder. And if you understand this in the journey of life, and I don't care how old you are, so it's irrelevant to me what you do or where you are in this life. There's a next for you. I just want to help you with your next. I just want to help you with your next. Now, your next may not be $100 million, but your next is your next. And your next may not look like my next, but your next is your next. So the real question is, are you going to man up and woman up to go, I want my next? And if so, then you better take these notes. It's going to take me longer than what I presupposed. It's going to cost me more than what I thought it was going to cost. And it's going to be harder than what I thought it was. And that's the third one, right? It's going to cost you more than you thought it was going to cost. Especially if you're in construction. Especially if you're in construction. It's going to cost you more than you thought it was going to cost. Guaranteed. There's going to be a water leak. There's going to be something. I guarantee you it's going to come. So you have to prep. And look at me, guys. You got to prep yourself. That's what a coach is for. A coach is going to say, hey, baby girl, this thing's going to kick you in the mouth. You better be ready when you get hit in the mouth. How do you respond? You got to have an outside hand, because when you get hit in the mouth, everybody comes into life with this, or their next season, where they go, I'm going to raise the roof on my life. And we all presuppose that I've got what it takes. I don't care if you like that or not. I know you do. I did it. I presupposed I had what it took. I know how to do this. I got this. I can do this. I'm the dude. And then life hits you right in the mouth. And contradiction comes right to your doorstep. And then how you respond to that determines how you go. Don said it like this: it's what you do when you want to quit that determines your success or failure. And when contradiction comes, you got to know. Luckily for me, through my journey, I've always paid people and had people, coaches, and outside hands to go, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? The plastic surgeon didn't wake up one day and say, I'm just going to start cutting on people's face. The dude or the gal goes through 8 to 10 years of college. And they learn nuances of how this muscle works and this muscle. You understand what I'm saying? And every time, ask anybody, is it easy as you thought it would be? No, it's way more than I thought it would be. I don't care if you're building church. I don't care what you do in life. It's going to cost you more. It's going to take you longer. And it's going to be harder than what you thought. Okay? Say that's okay. That's okay. So my assumption is everybody on the Zoom and everybody in this room is okay to pay the price to become their next. That's my assumption for you right now. Okay? All right, cool. So there's 4 things that, what time is it? Oh, yeah, we got plenty of time. Oh, I'm doing good, John. I'm doing really good on time today. Oh, Lord have mercy. So there's 4 things that I want to talk to you about today. I probably won't get to all 4 of them. You'll have to come see me later for the remainder that I don't get to. But there's 4 things you got to do if you're going to be successful in life. I don't care what you do for a living, but there's 4 things you got to do. Number 1, you got to set your soul. Everybody say set. You got to set. You got to set your soul. You got to set your skills. You got to set your, help me with the next one, somebody. Setting. That's right. You got to set your setting, which is your vehicle. I'm going to put it right here so y'all can have it. Just write this down. I'm never going to get to all these, so you just need to. And then you got to set your sound. These are the 4 settings of your life for success that you need to have. Okay? And today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, I hope to get to skills, but I'm going to talk to you about setting your soul. I'm going to talk to you about setting your soul, okay? I'm going to read this poem to you. Y'all keep writing this stuff down, okay? You don't have to write this poem. But to every mind that there openeth, away and away and away. A high soul climbs the highway, and the low soul gropes for the low. But in between on the misty flats, the rest drifts to and fro. But to every man there openeth a highway and a low, and every mind decideth the way his soul shall go. One ship sails east, and another ship sails west, by the self same wind that blows. 'Tis the setting of the sail, and not the gale, that tells the way we go. Here's what that means. It's not that deep. So here's what that means. Your soul is the sail of your life. I'm going to prove it to you biblically, and then we're going to walk it down, okay? Say, that's okay, Darren. But your soul, this little piece right here, does everybody know that they are a soul? Say yes if you know that you're a soul, that you're an actual person. We don't have any AI in here. Everybody, no clones in the building, no clones on Zoom. I hope, John, you have to confirm that, but I hope there's no clones on Zoom. They're listening. Yeah. They are listening. That's real. That's real. So the wind blows in life, and it blows on everybody. Jesus taught this one day, but I don't need to get into all of that. How you set your soul determines which way you're going to go when the contradiction comes and when the harvest comes. How you set your soul will determine which way you go. You have to set a few values in your own life so that no matter what comes or goes, you're going the direction that you want, because the wind is going to blow both good and bad. It's going to blow. So it's up to you how you set your soul. Everybody say that's good, Darren. All right, now watch. So here's where I want to go with this, right? My whole premise is out of Genesis 2 for this setting of the soul. Again, if somebody on Zoom doesn't like the Bible then, or in the room, then oh well. This is how I live my life. So it is what it is. So Genesis chapter 2, verse number 7. Here's what it says. You guys can read it. I'm sure y'all got Bibles. I don't have mine. But I'll just read it to you. Let me pull this up. Everybody say, you got time. Thank you. Oh, never mind. Dang, Simone, I was throwing you under the bus there, and you just jumped in front of me. All right. So Genesis 2:7. Here's what the Bible says. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Now, I could preach that for 3 or 4 days, and but I don't have time for that right now. Here's what I want you to see. Man became a living soul. So you are right now a living soul, right? And here's what that word is in the Hebrew. Sorry if you don't like this. It's kai, right, in the Hebrew. And this word right here, living soul, there's some Hebraic stuff in here that makes it an action word. It means it's going out. So some of the scholars, now stay with me because I want to show you this. Some of the scholars say this is life-giving soul. But it's irrelevant to us today, but I want you to see it. That God framed you, whether you believe it or not, as a living soul. Okay? So you are a living soul. Here's what it means. Whatever lives in your soul is going to come out. See, now watch. So I think this is in your notes. John, help me if it is. Whatever lives in here is going to show up out here. Is it in there? Whatever lives in here, everybody look at me now. Whatever lives inside of you is going to show up out here. I can go to your car today. I can go into your car today and I can read your soul. She said, don't pop the trunk. I can go into your garage today and I can tell you how you live your life. Because what's in here lives its way out here. And if there's chaos in here, guess what out here is going to look like? So in the measures of success, which is what you came here to hear me talk about, how you can get rich. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody wants to, hey, Darren, how do I become a millionaire, right? If you don't fix this inside, none of this is going to work. Because according to, well, she changed it. According to the Bible, what lives in here works its way out. So I can read your script without you saying a word to me. If you're okay with ugly stuff out here, that means there's some ugly stuff in here. So as a coach, I go, Brandon, I don't need to fix your business. I got to fix your soul. Because if I fix your soul, and am I right or wrong? This is how I teach it, guys. So if you don't like this, this is how you get rich. I don't care who tells you what. It's got to start from the inside out. It doesn't matter as much about the vehicle. It matters about the person. And if the person gets accurate and the person gets right inside, the world responds. The universe just responds. Everything comes to you. Say, Darren, how'd you get rich? I don't know. I fixed some stuff in here and it showed up out here. I did some more work on me and everything around me started to change. I ain't gonna preach. They're trying to push on me. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing it. I'm going to keep it calm today. Right? So if you want to be great at any measure, you got to fix this in here. Somebody say, well, my life looks like boom, boom, boom. And they go, I don't know why it looks like this. That's not true. I can tell you why, because it's in there. If you're running and gunning and can't figure out what target you're supposed to be shooting for, it's because inside there's chaos and you don't have a settledness in your soul. Now, that ain't easy, but neither is coaching. Neither is mentoring. So you want a mentor, you need to be okay with somebody sitting down at the table and say, go do what's in front of you to do and shut your mouth. Just shut up about it. Right? So you say, hey, Darren, I want you to help me become successful. Okay. Well, you got to like it and not like it, but keep walking it. Am I right? Because am I going to say something to you that offends your soul? No questions asked. No questions asked. Because as a mentor coach, when I look at you and you go, hey, man, this is where I'm at, and I see it, my job is to say, Taryn, that's bullcrap. You're lying to yourself. You can go to the mirror and lie. You can't lie to me, because your life on the outside is the mirror of what's going on inside your belly.
That's real talk.
It is what it is. Well, I don't know why I do these things. Oh, I can show you. We can walk that down because it's in there. Because it's in there. Because God made you a living soul. So what works in here lives out here. So if you're okay with your car being dirty, guess what? Oh, see, that's hard right there. That's hard right there. That's hard right there. Right? But if you're okay with that, guess what? There's an okay. I'm okay in here. There's this good enough. There's a good enough that exists inside of here. I'll give anybody well, not anybody, but I'll let you look at the Rover out there. I don't know, give you the keys. You might take off with my car, but I'll let you look at it. And when it's dirty to me, most people get in and go, what are you talking about? It's not dirty. But see, me and you live different life. To me, if there's pollen on my mats, this dirty, I need somebody to fix my car. And you may be okay with a McDonald's bag. I'm going to freak out if McDonald's bag's in my car for too long. I'm going to have a fit. And when you have teenagers, you have a lot of fits. That's why they don't get to use my car. I let them use mama's bus. You ain't driving. You don't touch my stuff. Y'all nasty teenagers. They still work. See, they still working from the inside out, right? Teenagers are innately nasty on the inside. It just is what it is. Boys, girls, it doesn't matter. They just nasty people, right? But I can show you your soul by just taking a mirror and looking at your garage and your car and your laundry room and your et cetera, and your shoes and your fingernails and your what else? Because man is a living soul. And this is not, man is not male, it's both male and female, right? So, does that make sense what I said? Does that make sense online, everybody? Does that make sense out there? Right? So what you are inside works its way outside. And so if you don't like, now watch, here's the hard part, guys. If you don't like the way this looks out here, what do you need to do? All right, now don't talk bad about me with my drawings, y'all. Okay? All right. So this is my wagon wheel of existence. John, give me a time, okay? Am I good? I'm trying to go 10, 15 after and break. Look, so most of us in life live from the outside in. We assume that if I get my outside things right, then my inside person will follow. And it's the opposite. Because man is a living soul, so you got to figure out who you are first, and then let that work its way to the outside. Does that mean you shouldn't do what's in front of you to do with everything you have? No. Do it with everything that's in your hands. With all the power that you have, you got to do it. But it does mean that most of us, especially Americans, and I'm assuming that everybody online is American, except for these two, but y'all are now, so it is what it is. Most of us Americans, we have this lottery mentality. And if I can just get this thing right, everything will work out. And so if we have a problem in a marriage, we go, well, if I can get you right, then we'll settle in here and it'll be good. Instead of looking back into my soul. And James said it like this. The book of James said, woe to the man that looks in the mirror and sees what kind of man he is and then walks away and forgets about it. Right? Because it's about you. It ain't about the outside world. Right? So you have to set your soul for success. Everybody say that. I got to set my soul for success. I have to set my soul for success. Like, I'm a millionaire by many times over right now. But check this out. I started on Cumberland Road. I started on Horner Drive. Just like my brother and my sister, I started on Horner Drive. And I had to outlive the Horner Drive. I had to outlive the person that I was, John. I had to outlive him. And every time I took a step forward, there would be this sound in the back of my head saying, don't. And I had to have some help outside of me to say, is this me or is this some other whisperer that lives in my life, and what should I do about it? And then so when you get an outside perspective that are not in your frame and they can see your picture outside your frame, then when the Cumberland Road would rise up in me, I had people in my life say, nah, that's just the man you used to be. You need to bury that thing, keep walking forward. Because most of us go to our default settings. Especially when contradiction comes, we go to our default. Well, this is how I've always done it. This is how it's always worked for me, so I go to my default. And whether that's cheesecake, right? Whether it's cheesecake or whether it's bourbon, we go to our default. And some go to worse things, peep shows and what, I don't know, right? But we all have defaults that are living in our soul that you grew up with and you framed. Now you got to catch this. You framed your life. Where you are today, you did it. Stop blaming other people. It's not your mama's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's your fault. And when you take that responsibility, you can start looking and go, well, who am I really? So that I can, because if it's mama or it's daddy, then you can go, well, if these people would have been right, I'd be better. That ain't life. You are a living soul. You have life in you that's supposed to work its way out. So if everybody else is your problem, guess what? You never find an answer. I got successful when I looked in the mirror and said, it's me, oh Lord. That's when I got successful. When I stopped going, if I hadn't been raised on Horner Drive, if my dad hadn't been this, if my mother hadn't been this, blah, 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 if all this outside stuff would have worked its way out, I'd be great. And I can take you to people right now in their 60s that are still singing this same song. And they look at Darren and go, well, if I had your opportunity. No, fool. I forged my opportunities because I kept changing the inside. And so the outside would respond. You got to catch this. The outside will respond to me when the inside is ready for a response. There is an immediate response in the universe when you make a change inside. It's immediate. You don't have to wait on anybody. You don't have to call anybody on the phone. Don't have to send an email. Don't have to post on Facebook. It's immediate. When you change something inside of you, definitively, the universe will respond. Ask me how I know. I have the picture. I've got this t-shirt in my life. It's the setting of the sail. It's the setting of the soul that determines which way you go. Because the wind blows on us all. You got it? And you have it inside. You just got to learn how to work its way out. Is that making sense what I'm saying? Yes? Okay. Very good. All right. All right. Now, I'm gonna y'all give me 15 minutes. Y'all good? Everybody good? Watch this. All right, cool. Cool bean. All right. So most of us in the setting of the soul have a problem because most of us grew up without permission to be rich. Especially you church folks. All you people online. Nobody in here, but all you people online, you church folks have a problem with permission to be rich. It's real. It's real. Because you get a little too far and you hear this thing on your shoulder going, your head's getting too big now. It wasn't even something on my shoulder. I had people tell me that. Family, look me in the face. Don't forget where you came from. And then I got God inside saying, you need to bury the man that you came from. Bury that dude. Because he's going to kill you. He wants to stop you. He wants to keep you on Horner Drive. He wants to keep you on Horner Drive. Right? So most of us fail to give our own selves permission. Especially religious people. And that's what Christianity is, religion. Now, see, this is lifeless. I can say that here. Can't say that tomorrow at your church, but I can say that here. Christianity is a religion. And most of us look at this book, this Bible, as a religious book instead of a life book, instead of a principle book, instead of God saying, here's the plan for you to be great. And we make it this religious ordinate book. And so most of us struggle with the permission. Is it okay? Yeah. And then here's what y'all do, because I did it. Has God called me to be rich? Yeah. Let me go ahead and squash that for you, okay? That's poppycock. That's poppycock. That's your excuse, and you're going to blame God because you don't want to put in the work to be the best you that you can be. And then you blame God, well, God hadn't assigned me to be rich. Poppycock. Here's the question. Write it down. You ready? If I can do better, should I do better? If I can do better, should I do better? Anybody got an answer? Of course you should. So the question is not about God, it's about your own soul. And what are you doing with your own soul to give yourself permission to become the next level of success? There's no magic in this, folks. There's no magic. I can help you, but I don't have a magic pill for you. If I did, I'd probably be a multi-billionaire and I wouldn't be standing here talking to y'all today, to be honest with you. I'm being honest. There's no magic pill. But the first thing that has to happen, you have to figure out that it's okay. It's okay for me to be rich. I had to get this in my soul. I had to get this deep inside my soul that it was okay for me to be rich. Here's what the Bible says, just for you religious folks. Oh, see, I'm hitting it now. It's fun right here, DA. I can't do this at church. It's fun right here. 3 John 1 and 2. Here's what John said. The beloved of the Christ. Here's what he said. Beloved, I would above all things that you would prosper and be in health, even as your soul. So John knew that it's an inside job. Y'all missed that? John knew that it was come from the inside out. So you can't outdo your soul. You cannot outdo your soul. If you got poo-poo in your soul, it's coming out. It's going to show up. You may try to cover it for a while, but it's going to show up. So one of the poo-poos that you have in your soul, especially you religious folks, is that you don't think God is okay with you being a multimillionaire. What you need to do is come hang out with us for a little while, and I'm going to prove it to you. Because if this verse doesn't help you, I wish, same word in the Greek, I wish, above all other things. Here it is. John is relaying this message from God. And he's saying, more than anything else in the planet, what I really want for you, what I really, really want for you is 2 things: that you would make a lot of money and you would be a healthy dude or a gal. See, y'all wanted to see, we want it to be religious. This ain't religion. Look, I wish more than anything in the world, translating the Greek for y'all, right? I would to God that you would get this. But more than anything else, that you would prosper. First thing he said. And you struggling, is God okay? You okay, Lord? I don't know if I'm okay right now. You okay? I don't want to mess stuff up. And you have this picture of this angry father, and if you miss it, he's going to pop you in the back of the head. That's religion. I just want to squash all that. That's poppycock. Deal with this how you need to deal with it, but it's poppycock. But I had it too. So I'm not above you. I'm telling you what I've lived through. Right? If you want to get rich, you got to outlive permission. And you got to be okay to give yourself permission to make a truck ton of money. Does anybody want to make a truck ton of money? It's just me and Taryn? We're the only two in here that want to make a truck ton of money. Truck ton of money. How much is enough? No, I ain't got there yet. Let's keep going. Keep the wheels on the bus turning, baby. We hadn't gotten there yet. Right? I would, it's not time, but I would take you theologically down the path of this. But when I do coaching, I give you a magic pen. Everybody say magic pen. I give you a magic pen. And I let you write whatever you want to write. And whatever you write comes true. And this is the breaking point. This is how I broke permission for me. Mike Murdoch gave me this. He said, you got a magic pen. Whatever you write comes true. And I began to let my soul, what? My soul open up to ask the question of Darren, what do you want? The first list had Bentleys on it and all kinds of stuff. I don't really want a Bentley. If I did, I'd drive one. I don't want a Bentley now, right? But in the process, you have to give yourself permission to let it all out. And to let it out and to imagine. That ain't religious. I'm just telling you how it works. You want to be rich? You want to be a millionaire? You got to learn to imagine. You got to learn that it's okay for me to imagine. It's okay for me to cut loose and just ask myself, what do I want? Write that in your books, please, y'all. What do I want? What do everybody online, you got to write that down. Write it 3 times. What do I want? What do I really, really want? Okay? And when you get to that place, you can give yourself permission, whether it's silly stuff or whether it's great stuff. Nobody cares. Just write a list that nobody else can see and start writing, what do I really want? Is that okay? Everybody say that's okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. So the biggest part of your soul, just give me 3 minutes, John. I'm going to finish this. Is that good? Biggest part of your soul is to understand this, that who I am inside will always show up outside. Proverbs 23:7 says it like this: as a man thinks in his heart, that's who he be. That's who you be. So you look at your life and I can tell you what you're thinking about. I can tell you what you've been processing. I can tell you all these things, okay? So you're never going to get around this. You've just got to have somebody to help you to reimagine and reframe and reforge, if you will, your soul's settings, because your soul settings have got you where you are. Does that make sense what I said? Yes or no? Your soul setting has gotten you where you are today. And in order for me to help you get where you want to go, I got to reset your soul. And that's a process. That's a process. Most of us religious church folks, we want to do it on Sunday morning. And we assume it's the preacher's responsibility to reset our soul. Whose responsibility is it for you to reset your soul? Nobody's going to do this for you. No one's going to do this for you. It's on you. Right? It's on you. Okay? As a man thinks in his heart, that's what he is. I'm going to give you 2 things real quick. I got a lot of mo, but I'm gonna wrap it so y'all can take a break. There's 2 primary belief sets, paradigms that influence especially our Christian worldview, but our money worldview. The Western Greek mythology and mindset says this. It was heavily shaped by Plato, but it views it like this. Christians view eternal life, now stay with me on this, eternal life as detached from this world. In other words, when we finish life here on earth, we go to this heaven's place to receive all of our rewards and blessings. While we're here on earth, we basically experience hardships, trials, and struggles. This leads to a behavior, pay attention, called Christian dualism. This dualism means that where life is segmented into two separate things, sacred and secular, church and life, okay, religion and non-religious and non-religious, where it's separated, this view inevitably creates a scale of hierarchy where only the meaningful things in life are these things we call sacred or church or religious. Now, the Hebraic mindset, which is the richest people on the planet. Everybody know who the richest people in the world are? Jewish. It just is what it is. They own all the banks where you have your money at. It's all owned by the Jewish people, which is good for me. I don't care. The Hebraic or Eastern mindset, however, is a view of the kingdom of God in which eternal life begins now. And there is no separation. There is no separation of God from any aspect of my person's life. Does that make sense what I said? Yes or no? So we, for the most part, have this thing in our lives that one day everything will be okay. And I want you to have your one day very, very soon. We believe I don't need you to die to be great and have your one day.